I exposed Nano Domestic Quell, which is a program deployed by the U.S. Department of Defense under previous administrations, namely Obama, designed to fulfill the ultimate hybridization concept not only on paper, but now in mankind's very own flesh and blood through the introduction of nanotechnology to mankind's biological systems, disrupting mankind's genetics via foods, waters, vaccines, and geoengineering for future activation. And now I'm going to read from the Nano Domestic Quell documents. These documents were obtained from Dr. Bill Weld's website. Then later, someone with the Department of Defense clearance sent it to me. And so this is why I believe this document is, in fact, valid. The document is June 2013, DTFN estimates for Nano Domestic Quell Phase 4 updated compliance. And I'll show you this part first. Now, I can't get in trouble for showing these because this was open source and it was on the internet. And I took it down from the internet before they shut down this man's website. And then I'm going to read from this page here. Nano Domestic Quell, I'm going to read this for you into the record. This is a threat against all mankind, not just America, but this document is specifically addressed to Nano Domestic Quell for the U.S. population.
Sorry, who's that document from?
This document was obtained from Bill Weld, which I have references to that up here.
No, that's fine. And if you just say again, would it be?
Sure. Sure. This document here is Nano Domestic Quell, and basically what it is it's an eyes-only document that was released, approved for release somewhere in 2013. And here the document reads as follows: it's domestic quell. So this is basically the utilization of nanotechnology in foods and water supplies, etc. Here it reads,
Who generated the document? Sorry, who generated the document?
How did I generate the document?
Who originally generated it? I mean,
Allegedly the Department of Defense, and I believe it is because a man with a clearance gave it to me.
And that's U.S. Defense?
That's correct.
Okay, correct.
Okay, so National Nano Domestic Quell NDQ protocols for Phase 4. DTFN estimated rates in Phase 4 updated compliance for NDQ. Current total infection rates for United States general population is at 87.2%. Projected infection for general U.S. populace by January 2014 is estimated to reach 98%. Total infection for ages 18 and above may reach 99%. DTFN projects dispersal mediums will require additional resources for Phase 4 of Nano Domestic Quell. DTFN recommends an increase in the following medium inflows and outflows specific to liquid dispersal: Pepsi Cola 9.9%, Nestle ADR 8.5%, Chicago Municipal 5.1%, Atlanta Municipal 4.4%, Danone 4.2%, Coca-Cola 4.1%, Los Angeles Municipal 2.9%, Seattle Municipal 1%. Dispersal outflows have shown significant improvement in population infection rates. Recommended inflow increases deployed in October 2012 resulted in a net increase of infection rates by 0.82%, slightly exceeding projections. DTFN assures DoD compliance for Phase 4 will be completed 1 week ahead of schedule. No further recommendations have been submitted by DTFN for Phase 5. An expected update to outflow estimated rates will be forthcoming before Phase 5 initialization. So obviously this is a threat.
So just coming in again, will we be hearing from the person that produced that document to you?
I can ask him. I can ask.
Because the evidence that we have here has to be obviously from you. Mm-hmm. And so that document, because it wasn't actually from you, put together by you, well, you understand what I'm saying. So,
I've sent these documents to about 4 people who I trust around the country. So if anything happens to me or my son, all of the documents are going to be mailed to news agencies and mail. Folks, you know, this is what I've been talking about. They've got a Nano kill switch program. I've explained it thoroughly in a couple of videos, and I just want to reiterate again what this is. This is a program that was started in 1995. It took years to develop. I've had a few people say, Bill, how did they have this technology in 1995? Well, I never said they did. They did not. It took 10 years to even get close to develop, for it to even work. And they've been implementing it and testing it for about 5 years now. It is a nano device. They put it in the food supply, they put it in the water supply, they put it in the bottled water. Some people have said, Bill, people don't drink from the municipal water supplies. I realize that. I never said that's all that they put it in. I mean, I don't know how much more clear I can be. It's like, if we can't process basic grade school comprehension, listening skills, then we really are hopeless. Because I've had a lot of people say just the dumbest stuff. I've had people say, Bill, why are they going to kill 98% of us? I never said that. They're not, for God's sake. They're not going to kill everybody. This is a program implemented. It is a form of crowd control, population control, folks. They don't want to kill everyone. Okay, when the economic collapse happens, they're not going to have enough troops. They're not going to have enough personnel, folks. So this is their plan. They got everybody infected with this nano device, which doesn't hurt you. For God's sake, I mean, I never said that. The nano device is inert. It has to be activated. Once it is activated with a drone, cell tower, radio transmission, it is activated remotely with a radio transmission, folks. I've said it 1,000 times. It's not going to hurt you unless they fly a drone over your house or they turn on a cell tower. And once they do that, you're going to have a flu outbreak. It mimics the flu, folks. Simple. So that's what we're dealing with. The documents are clear. You'll be able to see what they call the program, and you'll be able to see what the numbers are and where they talk about some of the water supplies that they're putting it in. So I've got the 2 documents. I'm going to upload them. You'll be able to click on the link and download it and view it. Now, as for the other documents, my son has them. They're at his house. Again, I've sent these documents to about 4 people who I trust around the country. So if anything happens to me or my son, all of the documents are going to be mailed to news agencies and mailed out. But here's the thing, folks. Y'all just kind of assume, well, why doesn't Bill just release documents? And then what? Who's going to believe me? Who's going to be listening? Nobody. I've got shills. I've got people attacking me from every angle, coming at me. I've got people who don't believe. What does it do that is good for me to release it? No one is listening. I've got to get people to listen. I've got to get this to go viral or get enough of an audience where I feel like I'm safe if I release them. Why do you think whistleblowers don't come forward, folks? Because they know nobody's going to listen. Nobody's paying attention. The news media sure as heck isn't going to listen. And they're just going to end up dead. Okay?
No, you got to listen to me. I thought you boys understood. It's business. That's all it is. You still don't get it, do you, boys? There ain't no countries anymore. No more good guys. They're running the whole show.
Next generation non-invasive neuromodulation. The idea here is to utilize exceedingly small scale devices that are capable of both sensing the micro and macro environment of the brain and transmitting to that micro and macro environment, utilizing implantable devices, essentially nanoscalar transmitters and sensors, that can be implanted within the brain with minimally invasive or non-invasive means. In other words, providing this material for these sensors, that can be injected into the bloodstream, inhaled, ingested, and then guided into the brain space in a very precise, vast array of sensing and transmitting electrodes that can be accessed remotely, which then allows remote capability to read from the living brain and interpret, if you will, the brain's language of communication utilizing decision technologies, computational algorithms, and AI, but also to write into the living brain, utilizing, if you will, remote sensing and transmitting capability that is able to translate across scales from the meso and macro level all the way down to the nanoscale to be able to modulate the node network activity in the brain on a variety of levels, from the very, very local to the almost systemic. And in that way, be able to both read information from the brain's processes of cognition, emotions, and the decisions that ultimately guide behaviors, and then affect those cognitions, emotions, and behaviors. At the same time that is incredibly exciting in terms of its provocativity of the way such technology might be used for biomedical approaches, it absolutely opens a Pandora's jar of what could be seen as capricious, contentious, or even nefarious uses. And it does speak to the idea that in reality, what we're talking about here is, quote, reading from the living brain. And if we consider the function of the living brain to be the mind, well, that's mind reading. And writing into the living brain, in other words, modulating the living brain remotely. And if we consider those functions once again to be mind, well, then axiomatically, that is mind control.
This is what I'm talking about, folks. I'm pissed off. My kids have been harmed. They're sick. Nobody believes me. Nobody's listening. What is the point? I mean, I can release these documents. Nobody's going to pay attention. Now they'll just kill me. Right now, I have some leverage. Right now, I've got other people who have the documents. They know that. They know that my audience is building. If they just killed me now, it would raise a little suspicion. If I just came out and posted one YouTube video, said, here's some classified documents, who would even see it? Who would even notice? Who would pay attention? You know, it requires public knowledge and public awareness. The news media isn't going to do anything about this at all. If I go to, I already called the news channels and asked them about this and said, hey, I got these documents. You want me to give them to you if you'll put them on the air? They just hung up on me. Good luck, you know, getting any attention from the news media about this. I mean, look at what happened to that Michael Hastings. I was reading about that. They just killed him. They blew his car up and killed him. Nobody cares. No one pays attention. But you all are coming at me like, Bill, why don't you release documents, blah, blah, blah. Not that simple, folks. But you're getting them today. You can look at them with your own eyes. You can download them.